All right, y'all, I need to make a few things. I'm going to go ahead and whip up my sugar cookie dough, and then I'm going to make some Cheez-Its because, yes, I've seen folks making Cheez-Its, and they do it the hard way. By doing, I'll get there when I get there, and I'll let y'all know what I mean by the hard way. There's a way that's 1,000 times easier to do it than what I've seen people doing it. So, sorry, I just yawned. Oof, it's 4 o'clock. But I'm gonna get into this sugar cookie dough. In my stand mixer, I have 6 ounces of sugar and 3 sticks of butter. And now I'm going to add in a pinch of salt and cream this together. It's creamed together, and maybe you'd like to focus, camera. It's creamed together, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this egg in. All right, we got our egg mixed in. Now I'm going to scrape down the bowl, and I'm going to add in 18 ounces of AP flour and 1 ounce of vanilla extract. Now I'm just going to turn this on low and let it come together. Don't overmix it. We're not trying to develop a crap ton of gluten here. You can see it's kind of starting to come together. Once it gets to this point, stop your mixer, take it out, and knead the rest together by hand. This is for sugar cookies using cookie cutters. This is not a drop sugar cookie. This has no leavening in it. It is not meant to rise. I've gone in and I've just mixed it with a gloved hand. And now I'm going to take it out of the bowl and flatten it out into a disc and refrigerate it. This dough needs to be cold when you cut it. Otherwise, it's not going to work and do its thing. Here's my dough ball. I have it on plastic wrap, or I have it, set down on some plastic wrap. Come over with one side of the plastic wrap, and now flatten it into your disc. Now I'm just taking my rolling pin and going over it while it is in the plastic wrap to get it as even as I can. Because the thing with sugar cookies is you want them all the same size, right? You don't want some giant sugar cookies and then some small sugar cookies. So if you get it even now, when you go to roll it out to your desired thickness after it is chilled, it will be 100 times easier. And then you just pick up your disc of dough, pop it in the fridge. Now we're going to get into the Cheez-Its. Let me tell y'all something. If you're going to take the time to make Cheez-Its at home, buy a good cheese, okay? Buy a good cheese. Don't just buy your basic bitch run-of-the-mill cheese. Here, I've got some seriously sharp white cheddar cheese. I'm going to need 1 pound of this. This is a 2-pound block. So I'm going to cut it in half and then shred it up. Okay, but before that happens, this is probably too much cheese to eat at one time. But, yes. To my 1 pound of shredded cheese, I've added in 8 ounces of softened butter, 1 tablespoon of salt, and a tablespoon and a half of black pepper. I like black pepper with cheese. If you don't want black pepper, you can skip it. Now I'm going to cream this together before I add my flour. Now I've come in here with 12 ounces of AP flour, and now I'm going to come in and I'm going to add in 4 ounces of almond flour. If you don't want to use almond flour, you can use toasted crushed up walnuts as well. And now I'm just going to cream this together. This should come together just like my sugar cookie dough did. Okay, and now I'm just going to continue mixing this together by hand. Here's half of the dough ball. I cut it in half and I put it on a silicone baking mat. And now I'm going to take another silicone baking mat and put it on top and start rolling it out. This will allow you to get a super thin cracker. Like, super thin. See? Now I can just peel this up and the dough is not really sticking. If it starts to stick a little bit, you can flour the surface lightly. The goal is thin. You don't want your crackers to be thick. So roll it out as thin as you possibly can. Pick up your silicone mat, get it in your sheet tray. Bam. I have seen people where they're making these and they're cutting like one square at a time and then breaking the squares up and putting them on a sheet pan. That is absolutely ridiculous and the biggest waste of time. I have this handy dandy thing in the pastry world that we call an accordion cutter that allows you to adjust and cut multiple rows at one time. And bam. Look at that, folks. Now I'm going to bake it just like this. Now, of course, I don't expect you to have an accordion cutter if you're at home. So you can use a pizza wheel, cut it into strips, and then cut it into squares of your preference. These have been in the oven for about 20 minutes. I'm going to come along with this knife and just kind of go along the lines and then make sure that they are broken up all the way. You don't have to press very hard with your knife because you don't want to cut through your silicone mat. Now I removed the ones that were darker around the edges that were crispier so they don't burn. And now I'm going to pop these back in the oven until they get a little darker. And here we go, folks. This is one tray. And then I have the other one over here. Beautiful. Now this is how much we have in total. This is a lot. But y'all.